common denominators. Hippocrates said, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. And food plays a major role in diabetes, and food plays a major role in weight loss. What I'd like to begin with is doing an assessment on what most people eat.
This reverses diabetes naturally, but they keep it hidden from you. In today's video, we will explore an interesting truth about reversing diabetes naturally, something that has often been hidden or overlooked. Did you know that around 10% of adults in the United States are living with diabetes, and this rate continues to rise every year? This is primarily due to the increase in lifestyle-related risk factors such as poor diet, lack of exercise, obesity, stress, and an aging population. However, many people are still unaware of effective ways to manage their health. In this video, Barbara O'Neill will introduce natural methods, proven by research, that can help you manage and even reverse diabetes. You will also find specific tips on how to change your diet, improve your lifestyle, and learn about the impact of certain foods on your blood sugar levels.
In the developed countries today are huge carbohydrate consumers. Never in the history of man have human beings consumed so many carbohydrates. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to begin with a carbohydrate assessment list. Question: what would most New Zealanders and Australians have had for breakfast this morning? Cereal. We know it's popular because there's a whole aisle devoted to it in the supermarket. And we know it's popular because, unfortunately, a lot of people today are on the screens till late. They go to bed too late. They wake up too late. They're in a big hurry. They've got to get to work. Cereal. Pour it into the bowl. Pour milk on it. Goes like wet tissue paper. Down the hatch in 10 minutes. Out the door. Can you see why it's a very popular food? When I said in one meeting that I gave, what do most Aussies have for breakfast? And one lady said, bacon and eggs. I said, not anymore. No one cooks. Another is toast, so bread. And we know bread's popular because there's a whole aisle devoted to that. And then mid-morning, you see, because these two don't take a person very far, what are they wanting to do mid-morning? And we went past a shop this morning and it had lots of big cakes in the window, and I looked in and it was packed. So people then will go to the morning teas, yeah? Cakes, biscuits, so we'll say cakes, etc., donuts, and another food that Australians love, and I think Kiwis too, pie. I know in Australia there's even a song about it, meat pies, kangaroos and Holden cars, yeah, something like that. And Europeans have introduced Aussies to another fast food called pizza, another fast food, high carb, and pasta. I didn't know what pasta was till I was about 18. I'm a fifth generation Australian Scottish descent. We had sausages or chops, mashed potatoes, frozen peas or beans every single night of the week except for Sunday. And everyone I knew ate like that. All my neighbours, all my relatives ate like that. I thought everyone in the world ate like that. But when I was about 18, I was introduced to pasta. And Asians have introduced Aussies to rice. I don't think I ate rice till I was in my late teens.
Wheat may come as a shock to many. When trying to eat healthily, many people choose whole wheat products, thinking it's a good choice for health. However, according to Dr. O'Neill, this can make the situation worse.
And what this hybridized wheat produced was a type of starch. It's called amylopectin. Amylopectin A is the starch found in this hybridized wheat. Now, amylopectin A gets the blood sugar level up very high, very fast, and you've always get a corresponding dump. Amylopectin B is what's found in bananas and potatoes. And amylopectin B, it gets it up fairly high, not as high, and so you get a drop too, but not as low. You see that? Amylopectin C is what is found in chickpeas, lima beans, legumes, and it gets a nice steady rise and steady drop. Now, because of that amylopectin A, it has a very high reading on the glycemic index. Are you familiar with the glycemic index? Because the glycemic index of foods is how quickly the food breaks down to glucose in the blood. So your baseline for glycemic index is 55. So anything below 55 is low. Anything above 55 is high. Let me give you an illustration. Cherries are 26. In fact, in most of the low-carb books, they advocate the only fruit to eat is blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, cherries, because they're very low on the glycemic index. Sugar, whether it be molasses, whether it be brown, whether it be raw, whether it be white, it has a glycemic index of 59, and we're not surprised. Refined wheat, so that would be white bread, white cereals, cakes made out of white flour, 69. Wow. So that white bread products is higher than sugar. I'm glad you're sitting down because the next information is shocking. Wholemeal. So wholemeal wheat. So that's wholemeal bread, wholemeal pasta, 72. How could that be? How could wholemeal bread get the blood sugar level up quicker and higher than white bread? Well, because it's not refined, it has more of the amylopectin A in it. Can you see that? One lady said, are you saying white bread's better than wholemeal? No. No, I'm not. I presented this one day at our health retreat and a lady began to cry. I said, why are you crying? She said, I'm type 2 diabetic. I was diagnosed 2 years ago. She said, I do everything they tell me. I have wholemeal bread, wholemeal cereal, wholemeal pasta. And every 6 months I visit the doctor and he puts me on more insulin. What's the definition of insanity? To do what you've always done and expect different results. She said, I'm crying tears of frustration because I do everything that they tell me and I'm getting worse. She said, I'm crying tears of joy right now because you have just solved the problem.
Barbara O'Neill believes that, in addition to controlling carbohydrate intake, understanding the root causes of diabetes is crucial for treatment. Before diabetes develops, most patients have already started experiencing insulin resistance, meaning the body struggles to process glucose. And this is primarily due to diet and modern lifestyle. When blood sugar levels get too high, the body demands more insulin from the pancreas, leading to insulin depletion and eventually diabetes. The good news is, Dr. O'Neill believes that by addressing the root cause, we can not only control diabetes but potentially reverse it. Her first tip for combating diabetes is to eat foods with a low glycemic index, GI.
So to conquer diabetes, what do? To conquer diabetes, go for the low glycemic index foods. It's not easy. It's easy. I meant to say it's not hard to get a glycemic index. You can Google that. It's a matter of having berries for breakfast instead of banana. It's as simple as having a sweet potato instead of potato. Having your whole grains, eliminating the wheat. Low GI foods. Number 2, daily legumes. I met a man, he was a scientist, he was 69. He came to our retreat. He said, when I was 42, I was told I had pre-diabetes and to eat legumes every day. He said, I eat legumes every day and I never got diabetes. Because the beans give that lovely, sure, steady delivery of fuel. But how do we stop them causing bloating or wind? You soak them overnight. And then you rinse them very well, and then you bring them to the boil. Have you seen all the froth that comes? You know what that is? Wind. You got to rinse it away. What I do is when my beans are 3/4 cooked, I rinse them again. And then I put my beans into a delicious sauce. And then you will not have that problem. They'll be a lot easier to digest. When I first married my husband 24 years ago, he could handle lima beans, he could handle red lentils, he could not handle brown lentils, and he could not handle. So what I did is at the meal I'd give him a teaspoon. That didn't cause a problem. A few days later, 2 teaspoons. Within a couple of weeks, 3 teaspoons. He can now handle them all. So sometimes if there are some you can't handle and they're even well soaked and rinsed, just start slowly and introduce yourself to them. Number 8, What I'd like to do now is I'd like to give you the sort of food to be eating to bring about repair in the human body. So this is a high fibre diet. So a high fibre diet, remember this, vegetables are high in fibre, high in minerals, low in sugars. And minerals are your healer, whereas fruit are high in fibre, high in sugars, low in minerals. So for a diabetic, for someone wanting to conquer weight in the body, they need to go more vegetables, less fruit. And ideally, low GI. So in here we put all your low GIs. So low GI fruits, there's fibre. Vegetables, one lady said, isn't carrot high? I said, you'd have to eat a truckload of carrots to get your blood sugar high. And all your plant-based food, so all your nuts, all your legumes, they're all high fibre, and all your whole grains.
Fats can be your ally in healing, but they can also be harmful if you choose the wrong kind. Fats found in deep-fried foods or margarine, which are processed or altered fats, can be dangerous to your health. According to Dr. O'Neill, the problem is not fat in general, but the processed, altered, or refined types of fat. She recommends focusing on healthy fats from whole food sources. These include nut butters, seeds, olive oil, and fatty fish, like salmon. Additionally, Dr. O'Neill encourages the use of a special type of wheat to combat diabetes. Ancient wheat, which has not been genetically modified like modern wheat, has less impact on blood sugar. If you're a fan of bread, Barbara O'Neill also suggests choosing bread made from ancient grains.
Can you eat bread? You can. You can. From the ancient grains. I'm going to give you a website, and this young man, it's his own business, www.simpleneed, and he uses the ancient grains. He's in North Carolina, and he will shop or ship anywhere. And that is excellent bread. It's probably more expensive than other bread you've bought, but one slice of that bread is usually equal in nutritive value to a whole loaf of other breads. You can get wheat that has not been hybridized. There's your spelt and your kamut and your Enkenhorns. There are grains. They're called ancient grains.
However, alongside diet, Barbara O'Neill emphasizes that exercise also plays a crucial role in managing diabetes, particularly high-intensity interval training, HIIT, exercises, as they are very effective in controlling blood sugar levels.
Conquering diabetes, conquering weight is exercise. And there is a type of exercise that gets the body up onto a more effective and better rate of running. There is a type of exercise that will stimulate the development of more insulin receptor sites. In a matter of days, you can conquer insulin resistance. Isn't that good news? If you implement the things I'm putting down here. Exercise. What is this interval training? Interval training, as the name implies, are intervals of high intensity and periods of recovery for a cycle. So a lot of the research with this has been done on exercise bikes, because I can testify it's not easy to run for 30 seconds. If you think to yourself, she doesn't know what she's talking about, I want you to try it tomorrow. In fact, at 20 seconds, my body is screaming at me, stop. But the type of exercise that's going to wake up that pancreas, the type of exercise that is going to wake up the insulin receptor sites on the cell and get them moving again, is the type of exercise that very, very hard work. It's going to get you out of your comfort zone. Now, if you can't run, exercise bike. Can't exercise bike, swim. Can't swim, push-ups. Can't push-ups, push-ups on the wall. Fitboard. You just got to find out what works for you. It may be a good idea to go to a gym and try different pieces of equipment and see what works for you. Then go home, and we have Gumtree or eBay in Australia. You can buy second-hand pieces of equipment. But the exercise bike, most people find, is the easiest way to do this high intensity. If you can't do 30 seconds high intensity, start with 10 or start with 15. But remember, don't stop when your body tells you to. You push yourself a little bit more. It's that pushing of yourself that strengthens that heart.
Dr. O'Neill provides an unexpected recommendation in diabetes management involving the use of salt, but not just any kind of salt.
We lose a lot of salt every day and we need to take salt. And seawater is 92 minerals, but the salt you buy on the supermarket shelf is only 2 minerals. So it causes an imbalance in and out of the cell, which gets the pressure up. So we need to take mineral salt, which is your Celtic salt or the Himalayan salt. He actually didn't drink salt water. He took a little bit of the salt and then he drank the water. Half a teaspoon of Celtic salt. Sounds a bit extreme.
Another factor is sleep. Current scientific studies show that maintaining quality sleep, including getting enough rest and sleeping on time, can help improve blood sugar control and reduce the risk of developing diabetes, especially type 2 diabetes.
Early nights? What's this got to do with diabetes? Between the hours of 10 p.m. and 3 a.m., there are hormones released in our body that are responsible for rest and rejuvenation. So if you're looking at conquering your diabetes, you've got to go to bed early so that those hormones can be released and do their repair on your pancreas. In the winter time, it's between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. So very important to do that. Many people are going to bed late because of the screens. And when your eyes are on screens in these hours, that totally blocks your rest and rejuvenate nighttime hormones. It also increases learning capacity, also increases mood in the body. In my DVDs, I go into a little bit more detail on that one. But that's why early nights are important for any sort of repair and healing in the human body.
One important secret Barbara O'Neill shares is about a natural, free, and abundant resource that many of us don't take full advantage of. While many people fear and avoid sunlight, for example, due to the risk of skin cancer, if exposed to the sun safely and appropriately, it offers many benefits, especially in providing vitamin D to the body. Vitamin D plays a crucial role in overall health, particularly in maintaining bone health and immune function. But what is particularly noteworthy is that vitamin D is also closely linked to diabetes, and a deficiency in vitamin D can be a risk factor for developing diabetes, especially type 2.
Why is sunshine important with diabetes? Because when the ultraviolet rays from the sun hit the skin, they convert a form of cholesterol just under the skin to vitamin D. And vitamin D is essential for the absorption of calcium and minerals inside the body. Your pancreas is made up of cells, and on the DNA there's 2,500 receptor sites for vitamin D. Vitamin D is an important part to be able to have a healthy functioning pancreas. Use of water. We should be drinking at least 8 glasses of water a day. Start early. What 8 glasses of water a day? It allows the release. Let's go back.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope the information on naturally reversing diabetes has given you a new perspective and more motivation. Remember, small changes can bring positive results for your health. If you found the video helpful, please like it. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos. Together, we can spread knowledge that can change lives. Wishing you good health, and see you next time.